Yes.
Cal, having two players, whose fathers played and parents played at a high level, what kind of advantages, with Reed and Wagner, do you get, and how have you coached them to handle the spotlight that comes with that?
I haven't coached them. That's who they are. And, we're still – the whole team is a work in progress. We're still trying to figure stuff out. We got new guys coming and, trying to play different. I thought Adu was unbelievable today. Just played great. I thought Antonio in the first half is why there was separation. The last 3 minutes, folks, you have to understand, we lost the second half by a point, which tells you his team, Kenny's team, never stopped. They just kept playing. So, Trey did. When we have another big guy, Trey can be who he is. He doesn't have to be slugging around down there because he did it for us for a number of games. But, yes.
Cal, obviously I'm over here obviously you have your own team to coach and are very involved with that, but given your relationship with Kenny and kind of, the situation that's going on over here, how much encouragement?
They lost to Texas by a point. I watched all these games now. Easily could have won. They had Virginia Tech on the road. They had a chance to win. Last minute and a half. Indiana, could have easily won the game. You lose a couple games. Oh, we should have won those. Well, we lost one. We should have won two. That's all part of this. He's got a really young team, and you got to let him go do what he does. The players love him because they played for him. They never let go of the rope. And I'm watching, and I feel for him, and but shoot, we went through it a couple years ago. The people get mean and nasty. They do, and that's what you have to deal with in this profession. I would, anytime I text them, coach your team. That's what I send them. Just coach your team. All the other stuff doesn't matter. My guess is he'll have this program within a year where everybody wants it. It's just the growing pains are miserable. We went through it. And all of a sudden, if you don't shoot 33s, what's going on? The game's passed you by. What? I mean, I feel for him. He's going to be fine. And I'll tell you that when they love you that much and how they're responding to him, it's just a matter of time. And, again, I watched the games. The games I know they lost a couple bad ones. We did too.
Cal, how much do all these other scoring threats around him sort of free up Antonio to just let it come to? Most nights it feels like he gets 18 easy, kind of lets it come to him, and then maybe explode on some nights like this.
What I keep saying to guys, you don't have to make the hardest play. Whoever you throw it to can play basketball. They can dribble, pass, and shoot. So quit trying to make really hard plays. We're getting turnovers for no reason, which we haven't all year. We'll have to work on that when we come back. But, I wanted Jordan to get in. He's been so good in practice. But with the big guy coming back, he kind of got pushed out a little bit. And I wanted to get him some minutes. Ugo did okay, but I'm on him because you got to rebound. You can't be 7 foot and not be near a ball. Because, why am I playing you then? So, but he'll get better.
It felt like a breakthrough bit for Justin Edwards today. You were congratulating him a lot after his play.
Well, he came out and he missed a wide open three. Then he missed one. And then I ran a play for him to get another shot, and he made it. And I looked at him and said, that's how much I believe in you. I think I believe in you more than you believe in you. And it's not your offense. Go rebound, go tip dunk, go at the rim, and ones. He's a great free throw shooter. So what would you try to do? Try to get fouled, maybe ball fake, do anything to get fouled. He's a great free throw shooter. But here's the point. He's a freshman trying to figure it out. And the guys are doing everything they can to help him, and today was a breakthrough for him, and I was happy for him. He's a terrific player. He's young. DJ did some things today, and just three I think 3 times freshman of the week in our league. But you know what? I keep telling them, the greatest thing with this group, you don't have to play great for us to win. We got enough guys. If you have a bad game, just step back and let other guys play more, which tells you there's no pressure. I got to do well, and I can't. No, that's for you. That's selfish. Just go play loose and play the plays you have for you and our team, not stuff you want to do. How are we playing? Everybody's getting shots. I think we got 7 guys in double figures, scoring a lot, making a high percentage of threes, low turnovers, and we're the youngest team in the country. 5th youngest. I can hear you.
Oh, well, okay. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Cal, to follow up there on Justin Edwards, I know you...
I don't listen to you, but I can hear you, so you understand what I meant.
Well, that's the same way with my cat, but that's fine, too.
Yeah.
What I was going to ask as a follow-up there on Justin Edwards is I know you obviously weren't probably thrilled about him getting the technical, but are you happy him showing just a little more outward emotion? Because he's not necessarily the most boisterous guy.
I said, by doing that and pointing it, I thought he said something to the official. That's why I got on the official. When he said he did it to the player, I said, that's the same as doing that to the player. You can't do it. Just play basketball. But look, I was just so happy for him because he needed to break through. You just think about him blocking shots, rebounding, open court scoring. He should be a better defender. He should be our best defender, but he's never been asked to do that before. So this is all new to him.
Cal, through the first 2 months of the season, what do you like about what you've seen from DJ and Reed? What are the things that you want them to continue to work on?
I think they've been terrific. I think they both have a will to win. I think they both have some dog in them. I know DJ does. I mean, the game he didn't play, we lost. That tells you something. He wills you to win. His dad was the same way, and I imagine his grandfather was the same way. It's in his DNA. And Reed just, whatever you ask him to do, he just plays basketball. And he doesn't care who scores, what it is. If I have to get a basket, I will. He made a 3 and made 2 or 3 free throws. I mean, those were big. Trey's 2 threes were big to keep the gap. But like I said, I've watched the tape. These guys, they're doing good stuff. And I would just say stay with it. Let him do what he does. Players love him. You know, Kenny's like my brother. So.
Kyle, Z said he met with you about possibly going home for the holidays.
Yeah.
What is he definitely going home for the holidays?
He is.
And what's the status of his situation right now?
It hadn't changed. But all that he's been through, he's lost. It was 242. He went down to 219. Not sleeping, struggling to eat. You know what I'm saying? And for his sake, I said, I'm good with it. I mean, his parents are also, they're all, you know, this is, you know, so he's going to go home and be back before the Illinois State game. Hopefully we hear something. So, you know, here's the crazy thing. NIL. You do know juniors are making hundreds of thousands in high school. One just signed for $1 million. High school. Seniors are making hundreds of thousands in high school. But, well, this is stated different. Stop it. That's why we're in this position. And that's why the Supreme Court and every court says, no, you can't do it that way. I'm hoping that they look at this, and took us a while to get it admitted. Somebody told me he put out his GPA, which was, I'll even give you another one. Ugo had a 4.0. I mean, we got a great group of kids. They do what they're supposed to do. And for him, the best thing for him, not for me, I'd rather him be with me, stay with me. He needs to get home. He needs to be around his family. But he's done good stuff. Thank you.
After Coach Cal, Trey Mitchell and Antonio Williams will be here.
First of all, we played a team they got them ranked 9, but they're a lot better than 9. And the reason they're a lot better than 9 is they share the ball, they defend, they have players that can really shoot the ball, really pass the ball, probably the best passing team that we played. And they're a machine. They keep coming at you and at you and at you. And I thought for the first 10 minutes we did a really good job, and we affected them some. But as it wore out, we didn't quite keep it going. And we stopped defending the way, and then we didn't share the ball like we should have. And that led to them making runs. Great in transition, great rebounding, and a really good team. Questions?
Kenny, you've been coaching, a bit speculation about your future. How have you handled that as you continue to do the job?
For me, it's more about how do I get this team better. I feel like we are getting better, keeping them close together. That's been the focus, just living on that. Russ?
Kenny, you're now 5-7 on the season. Is there anything that you could have done better to have this team more competitive up to this point?
I would say, obviously, there are things I could have done better. There are some games that we lost that we could have won, should have won. On paper, it says we were the better team. I'm not sitting here and saying that I'm not at fault. I'm not happy with where we are, but I also know that we still can get better, and there's a lot of room for growth. But it's not all on the kids. I have to do a better job of getting these guys prepared to play really good teams.
Kenny, do you take any satisfaction from the fact that you stuck with it in the second half, actually outscored them by 1, didn't let the lead get to 35 or 40 or whatever?
I talked to the guys about the first 10 minutes of the game, what it felt like, how you had them on their heels a little bit, and then I talked about the next 10 minutes of the game and how we stopped sharing the ball, we didn't have assists, we didn't get back in transition, we wasn't locked in defensively, and a guy goes off for 22 points. Second half, I think we won the second half by 1. So in a 10 or 11 minute spurt, 20-point game.
Kenny, you kind of alluded to it, but I'm over here on this side. With a team who has so many offensive weapons in so many ways they can hurt you, what did you want to take away? Like what was kind of the game plan coming in, what you're trying to do?
The game plan was knowing that this is an excellent transition team, and that we had to sprint back and match up, and at times that's hard because it's not just one guy or two guys, it's 5 guys that all have the ability to drive it, pass it, and shoot it. The other part of the game plan was making sure that we ran good offense and that we took good shots and played sort of like we played against Pepperdine. They're going to collapse on drives. We can't go in and try to shoot layups on 6'11", 7'1", shot blockers, athletes. So we get them to suck in and we spray the ball out, or we come to jump stop, shot fake, and go to the free throw line. I thought we did that a little bit at the beginning of the first half, and as the half went on, we tried to make the play, make the shot. They blocked the shot.
You kind of just touched upon it back here. In that beginning of the first half, when you guys do come out strong and things kind of started to fizzle out, what I guess was kind of the big reason why that momentum kind of went away and was never able to kind of build back?
Well, I just thought have to do a better job of explaining to them, listen, it's slipping away. You got to get back to how we got the lead, how we got even with them, how did we do that, and have them talk through it. Coach, we got even with them by moving the ball, driving, taking the ball downhill. Don't play with the ball. Go north-south, get downhill, make them collapse, spray the ball, and get good shots. Brandon did a good job initially of putting pressure on them, but as the game, we sort of went away from Brandon. We still have to find Brandon.
Coach right here. Just with Tyler, it seemed like he got frustrated at times during this game. What are some of the things that you were able to talk to him about to try to get him back in his game moving forward?
When you're an emotional young man and you're young, right? So he's a freshman, really good basketball player, and he's playing against really good basketball players, right? So in the heat of the battle, you can't give your spirit to anything other than the task at hand. If you give your spirit to a bad call and that knocks you out of whack, you're affecting our team. You're affecting your play. If you give your spirit to someone talking trash to you and you want to talk trash back and you play out of character, then you're giving your spirit to something negative that's going to affect us. You're a good basketball player. Trust and be secure in who you are. We need you. Sorely, badly, we need him to play the right way. Most of the assists we get, he's probably going to be the main guy getting those assists. You can't let it get to where I got to score, or you got to see the game and not give it to the referees who you may feel like they didn't give you a call. That doesn't matter. Keep playing. Keep playing. That's the lesson.
Hey, Kenny, back here. There was a moment in the first half you kind of talked about, things were going so great with that group on the court that started. Did you think about keeping them in the game longer? And then also there was a moment late in the second half where it kind of seemed like you were maybe thinking about calling a timeout when UK went on a big run but didn't. Just wondering what your thought process there was with trying to, after a couple big runs, just trying to throw them off their game.
So if you look at their team, how many guys played, 12 minutes or more? So they got a bunch of guys, right? And so when you play this game and you play a top 5 team and they got a bunch of players, our guys are going to get tired and they need a blow. So we're hoping that we can give guys blows and then come back to them and they be fresh. So that's the first thing. In the second half, look, the game is teetering. We need to keep this game competitive. You guys got to keep fighting through. You got to keep fighting through. We want to win 4-minute segments, and that's what we talked about doing.
Kenny says you can see, that you're getting better. Like, where are you seeing this team getting better even amid the struggles?
So the first thing is when we're playing well, you see we're getting assists. Again, 14 assists tonight. That should have been 20. When we play that way, we played that way for the first 10 minutes. When we play that way, we're pretty good. When we don't play that way, we look like individuals, not a team.
Kenny, Cal just said he felt like you're basically a year away from having this program where you would want it. How close do you feel like you are if you were using Kentucky in their roster right now as kind of a measuring stick?
If I'm using Kentucky as a measuring stick, did you see all those All-Americans out there? The first thing I'll say is I don't know what the game was last year. To me, I see segments where the gap is closing. The gap is closing. And I don't know if fans see it, you guys see it as media people, but the gap is closing. And I feel like we're headed in the right direction. Now, we still got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of work to do. I got to be better. I'm not saying I have all the answers, but when I look at my team, how many really good high school players can walk in here and demand starting time? Not many. I will probably now have to go to the transfer portal and get a guy that's been in college 3 or 4 years to add to this. That's where we are. I think that's a big jump from where we started. Where high school kids can't walk in here and outplay a Tyler who has a year in his, or Sky who has 2 years now, or Trey. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, we have good players that are very young, and they're only going to get better. So the next step is bringing in transfer guys that can take this over the hump.
Kenny, you get almost 2 weeks right here in the back. You get almost 2 weeks until conference play begins. I'm curious, what do those next 2 weeks or so look like for you? And also, do you like the fact that you have some time between the next game, or do you wish that there was another one?
I love the fact that we got time because we got to get better. We got to get more consistent. I have to look at these first 10 or 12 games and assess what could we do better. And we got time to work on things that we want to do to get this team better. We're getting into conference play now, and you know, in conference play, the teams are good, but I think that we have shown that we are capable of being competitive, and if you fall asleep on us, we may burn some people.
Yeah, just going back to your comments about, you know, needing the transfer portal, did you feel like it gives, like, and we talked over the summer, or at least at ACC tip-off, you said you didn't want to value age and, you know, who you're looking for out of the transfer portal, you wanted to find fit. Just any thoughts about, you know, when you look back on that time, just trying to get some more veteran guys because, you know, they can come in and they can add so much just off the jump?
Well, I think when you talk about what we did, you know, we won 4 games last year. So when you go to talk to kids that are high-level kids, they want to know, Coach, are you going to win more than 4 games? How can I come to Louisville and lose and win 4 games? Like, so there's apprehension there, right? Then on top of that, all the top schools are going after the top transfer guys. So I have to battle that. And I have to make sure that probably that nobody finds out exactly who the transfer guys are that we're going after, or the top schools are going to get them. It's just the nature of the beast. But I think we're headed in a direction where we're about to make the next jump. And I'm happy with that, but also knowing we got a lot of work to do to get these guys better.
Okay, thank you all.
Try to get situated. Antonio, last year it felt like a lot more of the scoring burden was on you kind of every night. The pressure was on. Do you feel like with all the other options on this team, it's kind of freed you up a little bit to kind of play more in the flow, and then on a night like tonight, if you got it cooking, just cook?
Yeah, definitely. You know, there's a lot of scoring threats out there with us, and everybody can dribble pass, shoot, you know, like Coach has been talking about. So, you know, we just continue to look for one another and find one another. Whoever's open, whoever's got the high hand, give it to them. So.
Trey, I know you savored your mentorship role you had with these young guys. Tonight was a breakthrough for Justin Edwards. How have you helped him along? What did you think of his play tonight?
You know, I can't take credit for that. That's all Justin. You know, he puts the work in every single day. That's all him. All I can be for him is a support system, you know, just to keep reminding him of what he's capable of. You know, sometimes as a player, it's easy to overthink things, no matter what your age is. You know, that's just it comes with the game. But he stayed the course and he's fought every second he's got. So he deserves a night like tonight.
Trey, what did the Antonio Reeves scoring flurry in the first half look like from your perspective? I think he had 9 straight shots there.
Honestly, I was starting to get a little cold over there. You know, it was just flurry, and he wasn't missing. But you know, he works harder than anybody I know. You know, and when you put the work in, eventually it's going to show. So I think that we did a great job of finding him, and you know, it's up to him to knock the shot down. And you see he was getting a little bouncy tonight. I ain't seen that side of Tony. You know, he wanted to go put somebody in the rim. But yeah, you know, he's another guy that deserves a night like tonight.
Antonio, through the first couple months of the season, what do you like about what you've seen over here? What do you like about what you've seen from Reed and DJ thus far?
I seen leadership. I feel like they're older than what they is. Like their game, they're freshmen, but they play older than what they are. They focus, to whatever we doing in practice. Listen to coaches, listen to the older guys and things like that. So, they continue to figure it out and grow, as freshmen. So.
Hey guys, here in the back. Last week it was kind of the emphasis of the freshmen sort of taking over, and now it was not saying that they didn't do anything tonight. Obviously they contributed, but with you guys, the veterans, kind of carrying most of the weight tonight, what does that say overall about this roster? How do you build off of it? How does it make you more confident and excited heading forward?
I would say that it says that it could be anybody's night, any given night. You don't know who it's going to be. It just so happened to be that it was us, But regardless of the circumstances, we're going to go out there and we're going to play hard every single possession. As older dudes, we know that those games leading into Christmas break can be, they call them trap games, because people are already mentally on break. But I think this is a team, I honestly say is the first team I've been on that didn't have any mental slips going into break. Like everybody was locked in, ready to play for this game.
Hey guys, for both of y'all, back here, Louisville had kind of a hot start to this game and their momentum started to fizzle out. What did you guys feel that you guys were able to do to kind of stunt that momentum and not let them back in it really from then on out?
They came out swinging. It was a rivalry game. So, they came out 100%, ready to play. And, we came out 100% too. So, as the game goes on, you just got to figure out ways to, try to shut them down and try to, take away things, on the offensive end. So, as the game went on and on, then we started to figure things out.
Hey guys, back right corner back here. You guys have both played a lot of college ball, played in some rivalry games. Have you ever been in a scenario where you're the visiting team and you can so clearly hear chants for your team in another team's building like this?
It was definitely a first for me. I haven't been in a position like this. I think that goes back to the fan base on both sides. I mean, like you looked around, you saw blue and red everywhere. I don't think it was more one color than another. I think it was pretty evenly split down the middle. So it's just like at times you were out there and you couldn't hear anything on both sides of the floor. So, I mean, that just goes to the Kentuckians. Is that what it is, Kentuckians? I wasn't sure. But that shows their love for the game and their support for both schools. You said me and Reed? That goes back to practice. That's something we work on every day. Just getting the ball out fast and moving. I mean, we got a team of dudes that run. Sometimes it's Reed, sometimes it's Tone, sometimes it could be anybody. The reality of it is if I get a rebound, even if they make a basket, I'm looking for the dude that's the most open down the court because that's how we play. We get out, we run, and we punish teams that way.
Man, it's great. When we, come off ball screens and things like that, if he open, we give it to him. We know that Trey can shoot, the long ball, like, a couple of our guards, So, we just continue to look for him. If he hot, we give it to him. So,
Antonio, over here. I want to ask, obviously you never want to force the issue, but when you're in a zone like you were there in the first half, it's a two-part question. One, how badly did you want that very last shot that you ended up making? And two, can you take me through that play, how it unfolded for you?
You talk about the last three that I hit?
Yeah, the last three before halftime, yeah.
I already knew I was hot, so I just, when I got the ball, I wasn't even thinking, it just off reaction for real. So I just, shot it and went in. So, I knew I hit like three or four of them before that, and, I was open a little bit, so I just let it go.
This could be for either of you all. You kind of talked about the fight you saw from Louisville out of the gate. They won the second half. I'm just wondering how much fight you saw from them down the stretch, because this game wasn't close in the end. But did you see them quit at all, and just how would you grade their fight throughout the game?
I think that anybody watching the game could see that there was no point that they gave up or they lost any fight. We had a stretch to end the first half that put us up a good bit, and we knew going into the second half that they weren't going to go away, because whether it be a rivalry game or players' individual competitive spirit, they got dudes that can play. And like I said, that first half gave us that little gap there, and we knew that we had to keep it as best as we could, because there was still 20 more minutes of basketball.
Trey, you said that during media day that you didn't care if you played the 4 or the 5, but every time you're like posting up a little guy doing that, making threes, you're smiling down the court. So with a couple games now with these 7-footers, how much are you really enjoying playing the 4?
Oh man, I love it. I absolutely love it. Not just because it slides me to the 4, but those dudes bring so much to the table for our team, and they're impacting shots, they're changing trajectories of dudes driving to the rim. You have people getting in there, getting that initial bump on someone that's guarding them, and then you got a 7'2", 7'5" wingspan coming out of nowhere, pinning it against the glass. So it just adds another dynamic, but I'm loving every second of it.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, after you guys had such a strong start, just wondering what were the biggest things that now that led to a Kentucky taking the game over. I'm heading into halftime.
Yeah, I think it was just too many defensive breakdowns. We let Reeves get too hot, and he started hitting some threes that really hurt us. But like our biggest thing is just continue to try to put 40 minutes together. We'll have 30 minutes, a great game. But them 10 minutes will really hurt us. So once we can do that, then we'll start fixing things.
And then, something that's been talked a lot about recently was just, Kenny and you all asking each other, have you quit on this team? I'm heading into halftime. Just take us through the messaging there and just how you all were able to come out and finish the game.
Yeah, nobody's quit on anybody. This team, I've always said this is the closest team I've ever been on. And I keep repeating to this team, they want to do big things. They want to win games. So we were just saying, stay together. No matter what happens, just stay together. That was the main message.
Brandon, how have you all been able to keep your heads up after tough losses like this throughout the season?
I think mainly it's just about staying together and not focusing on the outside noise, because obviously we feel it as well. Obviously we don't want to feel this way, but this is about staying together and staying within ourselves, and try to find ways to win games, and push and to push what we feel that we have, push it out. We're all like just trying to figure each other out, but just for us, we have to stay really close, and lean on our brothers and let each other know that we're there for each other.
Brandon, after the Arkansas State game, you were noticeably upset about what was going on with the boos in the stands. Today, it was a pretty overwhelming blue and white chant going on. Does that make you emotional after this at all? Is that something that is concerning to you, that there is a pretty overwhelming face here, of course, with the UK fans and maybe not so much of a presence with the Cards fans?
I think coming into this game, I kind of expected that. There's nothing we can really do about that except for winning. That's just what it comes down to. I believe that if we started better in the beginning of the season, didn't drop those games that we dropped, and we will be above 500 right now, I think the conversation will be a little bit different. But some things we just put it on ourselves, and we got to find a way to win, and find a way to change it. And I think that this break is good for us. I think that coming back will be better.
Kind of the same question, but in a different way. Just when you have had such small crowds, how does this one right here, when you come out to the seats filled, how does it get you jacked up for the game, maybe in ways that you weren't, playing other opponents? Even if the crowd was a lot of UK fans tonight, they seem like a lot of UofL fans too. And when you got off to that hot start, the fans are loving it. So just how much of that, I guess that sparked you all in the beginning?
Really just recognize what kind of game it is. I think that in of itself allows us to feel the energy or feel what type of time that we have to be on. Like, it's a very big game, a rivalry game, one of the known rivalries in the sport of basketball and college sports. But whenever we feel that way, say our fans aren't with us, like I said, we have to be together and be with ourselves, create our own energy. And we felt that, knowing what type of game it was. So we already had that energy within ourselves. And then once they shown the video before the starting lineups, it just brought a little bit more. That's why you seen what was happening like the first 8 minutes of the game, like we're right there with them.
Scott, just what is the message from Coach KP after a game like this? And even though you guys, record-wise may be struggling, but you get this break and just before heading into conference play to kind of get the guys inspired and let you guys know that this will turn around.
The message is, like I said, just stay together. I think this break will be good for us, like Brandon said. Get to come back, get a little mental break from everything. Everybody gets to get away, be with their families. I think it'll be really good for us. But we know, like I said, this team hasn't given up on anything, on anybody. It'll just, this just motivates us, and we know that we're right there with some of the top teams, despite the score. Like I said, the second half of the first half, those last 10 minutes really hurt us. But I think KP said we won the second half by 1 point, and so, like I said, we just got to put 40 minutes together. That's it, and just continue to go out there and play our hearts out.
When Coach Calipari was in here, he said if people would wait another year, the Louisville program would be where people expect it to be. Do you think the administration will be that patient, and have you been given any indication from Josh Hurd or anyone else that Kenny's job is safe?
We're the players. We're still rocking with KP.
Forever.
We have no control over what decisions are being made, and we don't even have time to worry about that and focus on that. We got games coming up. We're going into conference play, so that's what we're focused on. We got to control what we can control.
This is for both you guys. Sky, you said at the very beginning that you guys let Reeves get too hot. How much of it was Did you feel like it was just him making good plays versus where did you think it was defensive breakdowns on your part and maybe what you guys could have done differently to defend him?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of both. The stat sheet, he went 10 for 16, 4 for 5 from 3. Obviously, we know he's a shooter, so he was making some really good plays. But as a team, we got to always find him. And he got some ones in transition and some ones coming off screen, so we just got to be better with that. Yeah, he's a great person. I've said this since I committed here. The reason why I committed here was because the first thing he said was, "You're gonna know I love you before I coach you," and to me that's huge. He doesn't treat us like basketball players; he treats us like young men, and he's like a mentor to us. And he teaches us more than just basketball. He teaches us about life, and he prepares us for more than just our dreams. He prepares us for life. So. KP, he's a great person. I call him like a grandpa. Like I know I can go to him for anything. So.
For me, it's like a little different. He's more of like a second father to me. So my connection with him is a little bit deeper, or it still means as much as his. But him just like keep on being in my ear about. Am I going to allow my family to starve, or am I going to feed them? And that's as simple as he could put it for me. All I ever wanted since leaving Tennessee was just like the opportunity to play. No matter if I have like a bad practice or a bad game, just have the opportunity to play and figure it out myself. And he's just been there for me. And him putting the work with me at night and being patient like with my development is really huge. And I thank him for that every day, and then just being in the gym, being around someone. I feel like being around someone a lot is how you grow a connection, and just being in the gym with him countless times, and him pouring into me is something that I'll always be grateful for, and something that I need going forward in my development and where I want to go in my life.